Within eCoach, we also have the ability to export data in a format suitable for Sage, the Sage accounting software, as well as MYOB, QuickBooks, and also more recently Xero. Now, the way that's done is obviously, as with all accounting software, you would have to set up your nominal code so you can identify specific payment types and customer types and so on. So I won't be going over that in detail, but I just want to show you what the process of creating a Sage export ready, and then what you have to do after that. So initially, first time you're doing this, it might seem a little complicated, but when you run a Sage export, you will get 4 files. One of those files is called the Audit Trail, and that's basically a list of sales or transactions. And then you'll get a list of customers, and now that should ideally be imported firstly into Sage. Then you'll have a list of suppliers, and lastly you will have the flags file. So we just create an export now. So this is only a demo system, so I'll just run it for the beginning of this year because there won't be too much data in there. So that's now downloaded. You can see here it's appeared down the bottom left. We just double click on that. It's a zipped file. Now we can see the 4 files here. So the first one you'd have to do, if this is the first time that you're carrying this out, you would need to add the customers into your Sage system. So that would be the first one that you would import into Sage. Now, if you have a naming convention, obviously make sure that you use the same naming convention within eCoach as well, including any reference numbers and so on. Now, once you've done that, you can then look at importing your main sales overview, and that's under the Audit Trail. You will have to connect these columns to the specific fields within Sage, but that's actually straightforward. If you're familiar with using Sage, you'll know how to do this. Excuse me. Once you've completed those 2 imports, those are the primary ones. Suppliers, not so often for normal business, but if you have affiliates or other operators working with you, that might well be applicable to you. But most people are only going to be interested in importing customers and Audit Trail. So next time, at the end of the month, for example, if you do your import into Sage monthly and you've added new customers, you will want to rerun the customer import into Sage, and obviously any new transactions by importing the Sage Audit Trail after that. Once you've completed those 2 imports into Sage, you might be wondering what this flags file is. Well, that's the file that we need to then re-import into eCoach, so that eCoach knows not to export those details again because Sage is already aware of them. And you just do that here literally by clicking on this button here. So choose file, or navigate to the Sage flags folder and import. That way, next time, at the end of the month when you run another export, you're not going to duplicate customers and or transactions because we've already told eCoach which ones have gone. So we don't sort of double up on names and purchase records and so on. So I hope that explains a bit. So 3 main files most people would be interested in. Obviously the customers, then the Audit Trail, which is a list of transactions in general. And then lastly, once you've completed the import into Sage, you need to import back into eCoach the flags file here. And that will tell eCoach, right, we've already exported these customers and these transactions have already gone, so there's no need to do it again. Okay, hope that makes things a little clearer for you.